Hi, everyone. It's Ken Schott, former sports writer at the Daily Gazette, former podcast host, award-winning podcast host. Um, Starting a soft launch of the new Parting Schotts podcast. It's a video, obviously. We're going to see how this goes and uh, find out if there's going to be popular. This is going to be as popular as the old podcast I did, 516 episodes that I had produced for the newspaper. Wanted to just go over a few things. First of all, I have to say I'm truly honored this past Sunday at the New York State Hockey Hall of Fame. I was inducted into the Hall of Fame. René LaRue does a great job every year with that. I was always invited to go to the event, and this year it was a special time. I was nominated for the Hall and had my induction on Sunday along with several other people. Don Maloney from the New York Rangers, Jim Johnson from the New York Islanders executive, Steve Levy, although he wasn't there from ESPN, he'll be there next year. Andrea Kilborn, who played for USA Women's Hockey Olympic Team. Nick Vitiu, former New York Ranger and briefly a Philadelphia Flyer. Neil Smith, who was the general manager of the Adirondack Red Wings when they won a couple of Calder Cups. And then, of course, he became the general manager of the New York Rangers and helped build that 1994 Stanley Cup winning team. Don Stevens, Rochester Americans' great play-by-play announcer, was also inducted. So Sean Weller played at Clarkson, scored the overtime game-winning goal in Game 3 of the 2005 ECAC Hockey Tournament in the first round best-of-3 series. That was in Game 3. And Josh Bailey, who played for the Islanders. So really a lot of great people that were inducted on Sunday, and I'm probably missing a few other people. So I apologize for that. But like I said, it was a great time. Rennie does a great job with this every year. Just the people and me, and Pat LaFontaine was back this year. And when Pat LaFontaine comes up to you and congratulates you, knowing who you are, as I sat with him at the table at the first induction ceremony, and he was a great guy, even though he was an Islander and a Ranger and a Buffalo Sabre. And that's the one thing I said in my speech on Sunday, that one of the great things about hockey, and that's why I love the sport, is being able to talk to the players you grew up with, rooting for or hating. And especially, obviously being in New York State Hockey Hall of Fame, it's a lot of New York Islanders were involved, and I couldn't stand the Islanders. And to be able to talk to Bob Nystrom, John Tonelli, Butch Goring, Dennis Potvin, Ed Westfall, Billy Smith, and tell them I hated their guts growing up as a Flyer fan, and just their willingness to talk about that. And it was a lot of fun. I also think that Rennie loved my speech because I kept it under 5 minutes. Rennie has this rule: you have 10 minutes to talk, and at the end of 10 minutes, you're still going, you're done. And I had my speech prepared and rehearsed it a couple of times. My wife heard it a couple of times, and it was great. It's just I talked about my growing up in Philadelphia as a Flyers fan, and being able to be a part in the Spectrum, May 19th, 1974, when the Flyers won their first Stanley Cup, beating the Boston Bruins. And I think it was that point I knew I wanted to do something in sports, particularly hockey, and it really worked out. I covered the Hershey Bears for 5 years for the York Daily Record from 1985 to 1990. Came up here to Schenectady when there were 3 minor league hockey teams. For some of you old timers, remember the Adirondack Red Wings were always here in Glens Falls. The Fort Wayne Comets moved to Albany, become the Choppers at then Knickerbocker Arena. I think then the AHL decided to put a team in Troy to compete against that with the Capital District Islanders. And as you know, the Choppers folded midway through the season. It was about that time when Union announced they were going to elevate their men's hockey program from Division III to Division I. And I got that beat and was on it for the first 25 years of existence. A lot of early struggles the first 10 years or so. You wonder if it was going to be worth it. And, of course, it ended up being worth it and winning a national championship in 2014, led by Shane Gostisbehere, who recently helped the Carolina Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup. So, Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I have to thank, of course, my wife Lori, my son Steven for being there. Also, Rich Becker and Mike Russo, good friends of mine for many, many years. Will Springstead, the sports editor of the Daily Gazette. Um, Josh Halge, Union men's hockey coach. Eric McDowell, who was the sports information director during Union's run of success in the 2010s. So it was a fabulous time by all, and I appreciate them all coming to the event, and it was a lot of fun seeing them and having them cheer me on at the event. So I'll look forward to going next year, and I'll be interested to see what class will be inducted into the 2027 edition of the New York State Hockey Hall of Fame. Now, as for me, because if you haven't noticed by now, or if you've been somewhere under a rock, March 19th, shortly after Union men's hockey was eliminated by Princeton, the ECAC Hockey Tournament quarterfinals, I was laid off by the Gazette for the second time. So I had been looking for a job and was, sort of getting frustrated. But now I'm working at Cumberland Farms near where I live. So it's been a fun experience. I'm enjoying every minute of it. The people I work with are great. It's obviously not sports writing, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of business, a lot of work. You just don't stand behind a cashier and check people out. There's loading shelves and cleaning up and making coffee, making iced coffee. So I'm learning a lot from this, and it's good, and it's been a lot of fun. And that leads to maybe where my future is with Union men's hockey. If my schedule works out, I've been working mornings, so if things can work out, I could be able to still cover Union. And a lot of course, now that's going to be probably Substack, and that's where I have to ask you, who Union hockey fans who follow me for years, will you be willing to pay a subscription fee for the coverage of Union? Obviously, I can't do it for free, so it's going to be something that hopefully you'll decide that. To cover, follow my coverage, because I think you're not going to get anywhere the coverage that you'll get from me and the knowledge I have. Yeah, I'm bragging a little bit, I know, but it's I'm looking forward to being able to continue to cover Union College hockey. I'm about just a little over 2 years away from retirement, so it's get by the next 2 years and we'll see what happens. But let's hopefully you'll do that. And as I said at the top of this is a soft launch of the podcast. I had lunch with Josh Halge the other day, and we're probably going to try to do a podcast next week, maybe next Wednesday. So I'll let you have a better idea the next few days, and I'll let you know about that. But looking forward to that as well. And it's been like I said, it's a different world for me right now, but I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing right now. And if I can balance being able to do my full-time job and to be able to continue to cover Union College hockey, I'm more than happy to do it. So, and then hopefully we'll continue the podcast in this format. So we'll see what happens with that. I would like you, hopefully you'll subscribe to this YouTube channel I know I had some subscribers early on years ago. I think I have 14 or 15 subscribers. I haven't really posted videos of this. I was doing some, when I started shooting videos again for the Gazette, I was posting them mostly on my channel, but obviously I then posted the majority of the videos on the Gazette Sports channel. So other than that, if you have any questions, just post below or here on the YouTube channel, or when I post it on Facebook or X and Blue Sky, with all those social media platforms. So it's like I said, it's 30 years of covering Union. I'm looking forward to hopefully do the 31st season. It should be an exciting season. The Union opens up with that exhibition game against Colgate the first Friday in October, and then follows that up with the season opener at Army West Point on that Saturday. Some schedule highlights: Ohio State comes in, Providence and Nate Lehman comes in. Of course, the big thing with is the Capital or the Mayor's Cup games against RPI, both men and women. We played at Harding Mazzotti Arena up in Glens Falls. Scheduling conflict with the MVP Arena prevented the game from being played in Albany this coming season, which, quite frankly, how the heck does that happen? You know what the date is of that Mayor's Cup game here? Why booking a date? I think it was Disney on Ice. Who knows? So hopefully it's just a 1 year thing, and then we'll be back at MVP Arena in 2028. So that'll wrap things up here. I just again appreciate everybody. I wanted to thank everybody who reached out on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, and Blue Sky, congratulating me on my induction into the New York State Hockey Hall of Fame. Let me show you the plaque too. I'm thinking about it. Get it right here. If I can show you. Lift it up there. It's a nice plaque. Yeah, very nice plaque. And one other thing I will show you is it's like a diploma. And here we go. Let me get the camera there. Kind of nice. So again, thank you to Renee and everybody at the Associated. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Been battling a cold and just getting over it. Still have a case of the coffees. But again, thank you to Renee LaRue and all the staff at the New York State Hockey Hall of Fame. It really means the world to me to be inducted. I never. You think about it, but you think, nah, it's not going to happen. And it came at a time where I was feeling down, and it was also the same day I found out my Parting Schotts podcast was named the top podcast in New York State by the New York State Press Association. So it's kind of a great two events happened on Friday back in April. So a lot of fun, and it's I appreciate all the fans that have over the years of Union. I said that in my speech. It's, if social media has its disadvantages, and it could be really a cesspool out there, but there are people out there who generally want to talk hockey with you, and I enjoy being able to answer questions. I may not answer them right away, so especially if I'm covering a game, sometimes I just don't see those questions pop up right away. But one other person I forgot to mention, Brian Cohen, professor from Union. He was also there. Apologize for that, Brian. I forgot to mention you there earlier. But it's been, like I said, it's been a blast, and I'm looking forward to seeing where my sports writing career goes and my here's podcast career goes. Like I said, this is a soft opening. We'll see what happens, and if I do an interview with Josh Halgie next week, I'll let you guys know, and we'll. I know you guys have a lot of questions for Josh, a lot of things to talk about, especially with losing Ben Muthersbach to Arizona State, and what the recruits are going to look like, and how things are going to shape up for the 2026-27 season. So that'll wrap things up here from my house, and again, appreciate you watching this, and please subscribe to this channel, and that's about it. So from the Schott household, this is Ken Schott saying good night, good hockey. Okay, I'm still here. I'm trying to figure out how to close this. Give me a minute, folks. I'm trying to figure out how to close this sucker. End stream. Bye.